Hey BK, how you doing? Hey Sarah, how are you? How y'all doing this morning? Getting ready to start on a wooden sheath for this knife. Maybe should have started with a sharp knife, right? I don't have X-Acto blades for that X-Acto knife that I made all the accessories for. I got everything with the important part covered. Hey Jesse, how you doing today? This is good. How are you? I'm great, thank you. Thank you so much. So I don't know if y'all can tell exactly what I'm doing, but what I'm trying to do here, get this blade translated in paper. And I am actively struggling. It seems I need to get the right angle. Oh, I got the wrong tool. I thought I had something else in my hand. Watch this thing though. That thing did the job. Should have used a West Desert tool from the start, right? Over here looking like a phony baloney. Dang it, that blade is going to be not easy to trace. So tight on the end there. Oh shoot, I didn't even realize the blade was all the way down there. This is crazy. Somehow, just not able to figure it out. Let's do it this way. Now that we've just got it off of there. I really should have just done this with tape, right? But my weird quest for perfection meant that I wanted the absolute closest, tightest fit. I figured I could be more accurate with a sheet of paper, the tape. It has not proven to be the absolute best line of thinking. Oh, jeez. It was easier to daggone make the blade than to make the paper. All right, stop our whining. Got our piece. Get started. Dang it. That thing didn't cut through paper. That works that way, more or less. Should work this way, more or less. All right. What do we want the outside to be? Okay. Means we stop right there. If we stop right there, more and or less, is that more than half of that board? If it is, or we've got something to adjust around. Let's go ahead and get a measuring device. Ooh. If we need that much room to get what we want ideally, that is 1.5 inches. That is 3 inches there. That means we'll be better than 3/8 of an inch short. So we wouldn't be able to get 2 rectangular size pieces out of this. Same thickness, the same width, and it'd be this max width. That would leave us with only the option to do this if we're going to use this piece of wood. Probably diagonally. Meaning, let's go ahead and establish a square line. This blank isn't square yet. Let's go ahead and establish that. All right. What it do, Babalu? How you doing? Cedar Grove? What's going on, sir? Saw you a little bit earlier over there in Calvin's, my good buddy. He's doing some awesome stuff over there. What up, John P? P. What's going on, Jesse? Thank you for showing up too, fam. So we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna go from maximums to minimums, right? That's the maximum width we need. The minimum width we need to cover this, only that much. What we're gonna do is carry this maximum. That's right here. That's that 1.5 inches, if I'm not mistaken. Let's check it again. Bam, 1.5 inches. We're gonna go up here, square ourselves off again, and give us plenty of space. We're gonna maximize what we can get out of this wood. We do have a bevel on the other side that we can't rock with. Pull our 1.5 inches from this side, right? Got an 1.5 inches. Make that mark right there. And then we would connect the dots. Have that blank that way. That one that way. That way we've got the width we need and narrow in towards the blade tip because we're going to eventually end up cutting some of that off anyway. I think this works. However, the other idea, wet fingers. Wait, what? What you talking about? I got lost. Get finger dab and rub it on the. Oh, okay. getting called into a meeting, Sarah. I'll be back if I'm still alive. Okay, Sarah, we'll see you then. Um, Here's also an idea. Look how much thicker that is than a knife itself. In theory, I could do this, split that. That's the other side, right? In theory. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna get to work over here. So I'm thinking I'll go like this. Excuse me. I'll go like this. Trace it. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. I'm gonna be a little generous. I don't want to be too tight. These things are nice tight, but it can get, pardon the pun, sketchy. Trying to be too perfectionist with it because you can always make it a little big, put a liner in it that'll take up the gap and make the knife go in a little bit softer, come out silkier. I bought some stuff just for that this time. Boom. Blade still has to go in deep. I'm going to try to build this with a blade and a little bit of the knife. Has to kind of seep down in there. I'm talking about. You feel me? Put that in. We're going to have to cut that down deeper for sure. If not, get rid of it altogether. Yeah, that's what it's going to take. Where are my chisels? Here. Need my cut. Man, I've made these tools from a partner, Echo Woodcrafts, who has sent me all of this great wood. Good friend. Um, but I made these tools for them, and I've been using them to make sure they're good before I send them out. I get a little bit nervous about that kind of thing. I love these things. Like, I really like how they're performing, and I'm gonna make me a set as well because these things are great. These things are great. This thing is great. Well, it's got to be tested, tried and true, and all the stuff. Yeah. Yo, hold on one quick second, y'all. One quick second. funny, funny, funny. I'm sorry, y'all. My it was my ex-brother-in-law. Well, I can't. I feel weird even calling him an ex anything. He's a good friend. But anyway, he called me and told me a joke that I'm not at liberty to tell without violating my terms of agreement. Thank y'all for coming out, though. Thank every one of y'all for being here. I appreciate what y'all do and encouraging me and keeping me good on this stuff, yo. So I'm going to turn this screen around where you can see the work instead of my dusty mug. And I'm going to try to get myself position. I'm going to try something in just 2 seconds, right? And I got to make sure that I get. Plywood said you're calling me fun. I didn't even know I was here. All right, so yeah, I'm so bedazzled right now. That was funny. I'm gonna cut this out, and y'all know what I do when I do that. Why I do that, yada yada. So after I cut this one, I'm gonna see if I can cut this whole block in half and make it happen again on the other side. Slice them through. See if I can get what I want both ways. I feel confident. I feel confident. I don't think I'm gonna carve. I think I'm gonna just chisel most of that up out of there. Man, I wish I had the foresight to have gotten a bottle of water. Um, y'all forgive me, bear with me for 2 seconds. This is all for your benefit. What I'm looking for right now is a proper size Forstner bit so that I can put an additional hole to mount this camera in my desk so that I can give you this perspective without bumping the camera like I am right now. It's going to take me about 2 minutes. How many minutes? I would say about 2 minutes, maybe even less than that. 2 minutes. Let's see. That ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. That could be it. That is likely it. Now, all I need is drill to make me a hole. All I need is drill and I'm on a roll. Do you realize how many UK people like country music? It's amazing. Like all of my UK friends be playing UK music. They'll be playing, that's a little big. They'll be playing country western on their live streams. And I'd be like, what? Why are you doing that? And they'd be like, this is awesome. And I'm like, I guess so. You know, get back to your roots. You know, guess they're your roots, maybe your leaves. You call something that developed from your old culture still your roots? Hey, Joe, I am doing good. Cheetah Grow, I tell you what, I be multi-living myself, bro. I ain't got no problem with it. I ain't got no problem with it. Because you know what that means? Is that you're looking at something interesting, right? Because you're watching it live. And you're checking in on me too. You know what I'm saying? It's not or, it's and. And that is dope. That I appreciate, family. Real spit. Suzanne, you are dangerous with that chainsaw. Is Rhinestone Suzanne in here? Rhinestone Suzanne and a chainsaw. God dang, make you question your own toughness. I swear, she sling that thing like it's nothing. She like woodchucker on that thing. She made a cross. Like the cross had to be like yay big. She was like, it was small enough to put like a tiny little bead of epoxy and like ground up mermaid fins or something. I don't know, but it was shimmery and it was glowing in the dark. And she started it all with a freaking chainsaw. So my wife, listen, you're perfect as is, babe. But if you ever do want to add something to your repertoire, consider chainsaw carving. Consider it. It's a good look. Oh my God. You know how you have a tool and you put it somewhere and you remember visually, like seeing it sitting on top of a thing. You're like, oh, it was just on the thing. And I've been seeing it like over and over. And I'm like, I'll remember it's there next time. And then I don't. Well, here's another time. But I think I can put that there and be out of my own way. Crushed turquoise. Yes. Like crushed turquoise? Like, I wouldn't even know what to say if somebody was like, you got any crushed turquoise in that piece, Wes? I'd be like, hmm? I'd be like, I don't put animals of any type in my artwork. I love seeing people do stuff on a high level that is just scary from the start for me. I'm like, that's tough, bro. It's tough. Not everybody does the hard stuff and does it long enough to get excellent with it. Thing. Now, I don't know if y'all are getting the same little notice that I'm getting. Like every now and then, this screen is going, straighten the phone up and make it vertical. And I don't know if y'all are seeing that or something happens when it does that because I guess the tilt that I got on it. But I hope it's not interrupting the feed when that happens because it's happened a number of times. Now, I'm sort of a lazy bum when it comes to paperwork and when it comes to things like administrative type things that includes the computer things. I do just enough to get by on here. So, you know, this is not a paid endorsement because I'm too lazy to go through the process, but because I know and love you, these Harbor Freight chisels I've had for a year. Use them more than once a day if I add up how often I've used them. I have not once felt like I needed something more durable or tougher or sharper or needing to hold the edge longer. Nothing. Now, the level of use for me, right, would be considered a hobbyist. I'm a hobbyist because I'm not producing goods every day with this. I'm not earning a living with it. I'm not having to, you know, perform super effective and efficiently with this chisel. But I'm not going to toot my horn too much, but I've done some nice stuff with these chisels, thanks to these chisels. And this is just a Harbor Freight chisel set. The whole set had maybe 8 chisels or so in it. These things are wonderful. I use them all the time. You see how much debris and junk I get on them, but you can see that tip, I sharpen it, polish it, and you see what it's doing with this Sapele, which is no soft wood. So if you're looking for chisels, if you need chisels and you're put off um, by the process and you think you need to get the $200 joints, you really don't. I've carved a lot of different types of wood over the last year. I've not run into anything that was too much for these with a good sharpening and a decent stropping. You can do this with the most confidence in the world because they just cut good. Now again, if you're gonna use chisels, you're gonna need to sharpen them from time to time for sure. So you're gonna have to make an investment into a sharpening system. For me, I use the Amazon stuff, Amazon Basics, and I paid about $30 for the whole set. I've been using them for probably 8, 9 months now. As far as I can tell, they function exactly like they did brand new. I haven't needed anything beyond them. I've used other things other than them to test it out. They're still my go-to. You say you do it with your reading glasses and safety glasses. What? Oh, BK said both her glasses on her head. She's looking for them. I don't wear my glasses often enough to do that. I wear contact lenses and reading glasses now, which is weird. Been wearing contact lenses because I thought I'd look terrible in glasses. And now I got no choice, and I'm like, oh, that's not so bad. Could have just did that. So now I got 3 visions to consider. With glasses, without glasses, with contacts, without contacts, with glasses, not contacts, contacts, and glasses. Complicated. Complicated life, getting old. Somebody said you get old enough and you don't have a left and a right anything anymore. Oh, Jesse, we'll see you later. Appreciate you coming through. Hey, Tim, what's good? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Mike Taz, what's happening? They say you get old enough and you go from having a left leg and a right leg to a good knee and a bad knee. This guy's knee was in a bandage, and he said, "Oh no, that's not even my bad knee." He said, "I just hurt my good knee," which I guess means it's temporary. But wow, that's what happened, man. I hurt my good knee, so I had to put it in the cast. My bad knee, they know this is the one that ain't gonna get back right. But hey, you get this age, hopefully you got some people that love you in your life, and that is the reason for the season, ain't it? Get old enough to see your kids smiling and happy. Adults, for the for the fortunate few, some grands. You know what I'm saying? I haven't any grandkids just yet. I can't call that fortunate or unfortunate, but I also don't have any married children yet, so I'm gonna call it fortunate for me. I need somebody else to be on the line. You know what I'm saying? Now here, I'm turning this blade bevel down so that it wants to, as I push forward, it wants to ride upwards. The other way, it's going to want to tend to go flat or go down a little bit. So here, now that I'm going towards the end of the blade, where it's going to get more narrow, inside of this sheath, keep some of the play down. I'm also going to give myself a little bit narrow. Plywood, 6 months in this piece. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Representing. Golly, y'all. I am going to have to take this call. This is my insurance company, but I'm going to stay right here with y'all. Just mute. You too. Thank you. Bye bye. This wood is awfully familiar feeling in color and texture. And I'll show you what I mean. Because this is Sapele. And that Doom piece looks very similar. this, either this wood or that. There's 3 woods in this that I used. Um, I can't even remember them off the top of my head. I don't think any of them was Sapele though. What you screenshot, BK? Nurse Friday, she went back before I had seen her in years. She hasn't we had grandkids yet. I'm like 21. Oh, I shouldn't have laughed at that, BK. My fault. Let me just be like, I am the grandkids. How dare you? I'm only here because I skipped nap time. Oh, that might make me sound old too. I do like nap times. I tell you what, one of the things that makes me and my wife so perfect for one another is our appreciation for nap times is equal. Man, to have somebody who is down for a nap at the same time that you yourself are down for a nap, you know what to say. Except I do. Give up 50% of my worldly belongings. I'll take it for a nap partner. Oh, I'm all blocking the way, my fault. Now, this I'm going to just keep taking a little bit deeper. But because I do want to get to the depth that I need to get to is half of the knife thickness overall, so that I can sandwich these 2 pieces together. I think that's how it's going to work. I could be wrong. Sometimes the universe has other plans for you, boy. Now, what I really like about these that I can get in that corner and get in that corner. I can get both of them hardier and deeper than it would be with something like an X-Acto knife or an X-Acto blade. And because I'm a chisel bevel on that knife, and we could take advantage of that and get in that very precise corner and even create a little depth to the shoulder as we do it. Like I'm using this to sort of do some diagonal sanding across that grain just to soften what we got there. And I can push with one hand, let this other one just be the guide and sort of steer it. That you can't do with a short tool. How long the tools are. Right. That does serve some advantages here. in the places you actually need for that. I'm gonna just keep riding into this edge. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this just because I should, and I want to come in straight, and I want to come in at a right angle, and I want to be able to measure that depth without second guessing it. So we're gonna go over to the should we do it on a table saw, skill saw? Let's go to the table saw. I think it's already set up. Looking good. Thank you, Joe. Makes it clean. Thank you. Hey, Mr. McCall, I'm finally getting some use out of that Sapele. I'm gonna make a sheath for that knife in the silky oak that you sent me. Yeah, Mark, see how that's kind of tapering up right there? But let's sit you here. Should be able to see me from there. A little jig, the only one I'll be using. I'm gonna put it on there. We already sort of set up. I'm gonna hit the gas. Always have that stop at your knee. If your hands need to hold on something or jump out of the way, you can stop it, man. Imperative. I wanted that little piece of, okay, here it is. A little bitty piece of wood, but now we're straight. We got this beautiful ingrain. Oh, you can't see it because I don't know how to hold stuff. All right. Let's go. Back to the back cave. Back chair. Back chair. Well, everything got to be bat something in the first place. Baby, baby. Put that back down, that back down. Swap that angle. Kerplow. Your boy is back. Now we can cut in straight from there, and we can go in at a measured, intentional depth that way, right? I had a pencil. Oh, it's right here. Got it all backwards. But we know we got to be at least that deep. Oh my God, the day of 1,000 phone calls. Hello, this is Wes.
Hello?
You sound like a robot. You denying your robot heritage? Oh Lord. Hold on, this one I gotta take. Jesus Christ. And we're back. Phone calls all day. Now, appreciate the likes. Appreciate you, John Parham. Likes and subscribes. Chill vibes and free game. Oh, yes. Yo, yes. Why the gloves? Because I'm a goofball and I gotta do two things. Is one, try to protect myself from some of this stuff. There are so many species of wood that I'm dealing with, um, and on this channel, and I am pretty much a novice, right? So I want to be careful that I don't accidentally poison myself, um, or just keep my skin a little bit taken care of. Now I've got contractor hands because that's what I am, but my skin is healthy, and sometimes these chemicals and or species of wood that I use sometimes have different treatments on them, things like that. And just not everything is good to be against your skin. So, and then trust me, I'll, you'd bet I guarantee you'd rather look at these gloves than my, than my man hands. And I know they're honorable hands, right? Don't get me wrong, but they ain't pretty. So chippy. Hey, Chippy, you so fine, you so fine, you blow one, hey, Chippy. Oh, think you're pretty, you don't understand. Take me by the heart and you take me by the hand. Let me see if I can flip you this way and maybe get you a better look at what we're looking at. Yeah, yeah. Is that in your way? No. I got that. I got that. I got that. I got that. Yeah. I could be your girl. You're just gonna have to deal with some '90s nostalgia if you're on this channel. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's who I am. All right. So now, boom, right? We got that in there, right? Right? You feel me? And then while we do dig down a little deeper, whatever, you feel me? Get that joint ready. That's all. That's all. All that right there. Straight, B. You got to worry about that forever. Practicing my New York since we're talking about rap and hip hop. Oh, like we were not talking about rap and hip hop. That was you, Wes. You. It's only you, bro. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I bet y'all don't remember that song. I bet there's not anybody in here under 40 that knows what the heck I was talking about. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. Never thought I could feel so free. Riding away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not. The machine is what am I making? Well, I'm making a sheath, a wooden sheath for that there knife. It'll sit in there like that, like a cool bad boy. Anybody that's walking around with a knife like this here. BK, you might have heard it. You're probably too young to remember this. It's a show. That's a theme song for a show. And it only ran like one, maybe two seasons. But at the time it was my favorite joint. Exactly, the machinist. Yes. Hey, Joe Mama, you was what? What, you too? Oh man. Glad I'm not the only one getting AARP solicitations in the mail. Like, what are you saying? Leave me alone. Man, believe it or not, it's just me. The Sapele and apricot are some of the best smelling woods. Mm. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I've been masked up most of this, and I haven't sanded it at all yet. So usually you don't get it until it's sanded. Uh, Plus, man, we're getting stopped up over here. Me and my wife, we're getting congested. Daughter came through over the weekend, and they did a concert. You know, concerts be crowded, and so driving in germs and driving out germs. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I just always like the way he said that part. Always kind of cracked me up. It's a little bit extra, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a little bit extra, so I can appreciate it. Now I can't stop singing it in my head, and then it keeps falling out of my mouth. That didn't sound good. That didn't sound. That's probably going to be the piece AI picks up as a sound bite. Woodworking West in a wonderland of Washington. Singing old songs and the hits you grew up listening to. Believe it or not, okay, I'm not going to keep doing that to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me try this thing out too. I'm telling you, look at that though. It's so convenient, this little thing. Definitely got to make one of these for me. But this little kind of stuff, sharp, sharp. Y'all remember that? Snarf, snarf. You got to be some kind of age to remember that too. I'm gonna have some like Gen X slash versus Boomer trivia on West Desert one day. Just you wait and see. That'll be the day y'all see my wife in here. She cannot get enough of trivia stuff. I'll take that all the way to the corner, Slim. You say. The machinist says, no disrespect, you're the whitest sounding black person I ever heard. God. Y'all hear what this motherfucker just said to me? Oh, shit. In person, that would have made me be the blackest person you ever seen in person. There will be no doubt about my heritage uh, at that point. Hey, man, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool, dude. Oh, you cool, bro? You cool? I'm cool, man. I'm cool. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Fucking love Snoop Dogg, bro. Fucking love Snoop Dogg. Give me some dap, bro. Give me some dap. We can squash it. We can squash this beef, bro. Damn. Just gonna call me Wayne Brady? Just gonna call me Wayne Brady to my face? Gonna come on my chat, call me Wayne Brady in front of all of my friends. Jesus. I'm gonna have to start cussing more. Maybe is that the same person that asked about the gloves? Is that the same guy that asked about the gloves? He must have been like, what? Hold on. That ain't the tint of blue that I usually get when I must have tore my glove somewhere. He was like, wait a minute. Hold the front door. Crystal, you come in here. You come in here. Come look at this. Come look at this. This son of a bitch is black. That dang nigger. Look at him. Look at him. Darker than the night sky. Freaking woodworking. Freaking woodworking. Damnedest thing I done seen. Damnedest thing I done seen. What the heck is that he's making? Is that a knife? Is he making a knife? Hello, Sheriff's Department. I'd like to report an incident. There is a fella who is suspicious in nature and appears to be making a weapon of some sort. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, it is me again. Yes, sir. No, I know, but you said if there was a real emergency, this is a real. All right, all right. Catherine, unplug the internet. We on probation again. We on probation again. Shit. And that was West Desert Theater, sponsored by some dude who don't know black dudes. Tactical hand condoms. Hilarious. Can never be too safe. Can never be too safe. Slide that. Oh, that's a fit, ladies and gentlemen. That is a fit. You just got to do it again. I'm going to drop a little bit deeper on that. See if I can go maybe the depth of the blade. I think I just got the depth of the scale that time. Go a little bit further right here. We are on the way. God, I love this knife. So we're just going to cut down a little bit. And this way is very, very easy to give our some depth. But we're going to need this Sharpie to hit that corner right here. This is so good. It's like a it's like an X-Acto blade, but beefier. So you can actually carve into stuff with it without worrying about breaking it at all. Like this would break an X-Acto blade tip or razor. Snap right off. This seems to be working great. Don't worry, guys. As soon as I get this razor away from my fingers, I will be back to the chat. Say hello to my friends. I'm trying to do better about getting to the chat. But every now and then I come in there and be like, oh shit. Maybe I maybe I need to get back to the cutting. I'll tell you a funny story though. This is gonna sound made up, considering what we just said. You know, all of my friends are artists and musicians and stuff. And as an artist or a musician, there's always like unusual type of work, right? This is back in the late 90s. And I've always joked around doing voices and stuff. And a friend of mine called and says, hey, I got a gig to do voiceover in a radio commercial. And I was like, oh, that's dope. He was like, yo, you should come out. They need somebody else to play another character. And I was like, word. I go out there. We get in the booth. My brother does his. Cool. I go in there, do mine. And they call me to come back out. Like this part, I don't even really want to say online, but I'm gonna do it anyway because it's so funny. It's essential to the story. It's a Mrs. Winter's fried chicken commercial we're doing, right? They called me out of the booth to say, you know, it's a commercial, so I'm trying to use my best diction, my best enunciation and pronunciations. And the lady calls me out and goes, see, this one is for the hip hop station. So could you be a little bit more urban? A guy interrupted and said, and she said, yes, urban. And I said, I don't know if I want to be urban necessarily right now. And they went, oh, okay. They went and commiserated, came back, and I ended up doing the Mrs. Winters commercial for the rock station demographic. I wasn't black enough for the hip hop radio station in my day to day linguistics. Another fantastic story. West does it. I'm gonna be the Fat Joe of woodworking, man. I have so many ridiculous stories from my life. I've had so many chapters. I feel like I'm really 70 or 80 when it comes to life experiences. PK says that was great. Hey, Soldier Farms, how you doing, man? Good to see you in here. It has been an enjoyable road. I really do like living. I don't think I'm gonna stop doing it for a while. Oh. Mm. That's the sound Mark Simpson makes. Mm. Homie, I don't like the way that knife blade is fitting in there, homie. Oh. That's what I got to start doing is reading my reading all the people who are trolling me messages in dumb voices. Home, I can't believe it's a black guy doing woodworking. It's pretty amazing. Oh man, I'm sorry, you guys, if I'm alienating. Just can't get enough of that passive racism. So delicious. Love it. Let's try this knife again. I just might make a ringtone. That would be dope. My baby, let me see. My baby is checking to see if I'm alive with her stethoscope. She said I'm okay. Glad to know it, Mr. McCall. Glad you went and got yourself a professional opinion, bro. Because you never know. You never know. You need those regular checkups. That's the cutest thing in the whole wide world, man. A little kid with a profession toy, like a little kid with a hammer, or a little kid with a stethoscope, or a little kid with a grocery cart. Oh, makes the dad in me get all daddy inside. My 14-year-old was sitting in a chair yesterday at the dinner table. I passed by him and gave him a hug. I hug my kids like a lot all the time. So I give him a hug and he's sitting down. I hadn't hugged him sitting down in a long time, where like he put his like head kind of towards and on my chest kind of area, right? Which was so reminiscent of when they were little kids, because this kid shot up overnight. My son's a foot taller than he was last year. And it's amazing. But oh my God, it feels like it was just yesterday. So anyway, I'm hugging him. And you know how your kids kind of hug you because it's routine. You hug your mom, hug your dad. And then you know how they hug you when they were little kids? Like they hold on to you a little extra and they snuggle up in it and all that stuff. Like, oh, he did that. He's my youngest one. Because I was, standing up, he was sitting down. I was tall enough to have him, at my chest. And oh, so reminiscent of little kidness. I was like, oh, this little guy, this little guy. All right. That's staying put in its home right now. Fantastic. So I'm gonna say that I'm happy with that. I'm gonna have to cut out a little bit more where this blade is. I was trying to avoid it because what that's gonna end up doing is clipping off that whole corner, right? Because that's not enough wood to hold up to any more loss. So that's just gonna be what it's gonna be. Um, Fortunately, the sharp of the blade starts here, not back here. So if that's a little bit exposed, it'll be back there. Um, but it'll also not be exposing any sharpness. But I'm gonna have to go ahead and cut that out. Oh, I miss having little kids. Not enough to have more. Depression Talks, aka Rob, my best buddy, superhero, baddest man in the UK. I should call you UK Rob, kind of like Klondike Jackson or something. UK Rob. Sounds tough. Who is that over there? You know exactly who bloody hell it is. UK Rob. Wanker. Hmm? First promo for the UK Rob show. My fault. No disrespect. There's some wood you can carve and sort of get away with it and no sanding. There's some wood that you damn well better sand. This is one of them. Sapele. It's beautiful. And this is the inside of something that'll never be seen and whatnot, but like things looking a little bit better than that. You know what I'm talking about? Little taper will also give that blade somewhere to ride. When it's going inside of that sheath, it will just kind of help guide it down. We don't want much for it to bump into along its journey. She's eating cat food. Oh no. Your oldest grandchild is 26. Ah, ah. Do they come by and visit and bring you stuff? I've always wanted an adult grand. Do you get to pit them against their parents, your children? Do they call you and say, Mom did this to me and I need you to talk to her because I need my mortgage handled? Nothing like family, y'all. They live way up north farming. Word? You got grands on a farm. That's dope. So you said you had a 19. Remember when mine were 19? It was over a decade ago, says Mike. Whoa. Is Carrie in this place? Hey, Carrie, I didn't see you when you came in, if you came in, but I see somebody calling your name, so gotta mean you in the building. Oh, Lord.
Tragedy befalls the West Desert Empire. In one short moment, it all falls apart. What was once a hopeful case now lies in ruin. Will that champion recover? We do not know. We can only pray. Hope he comes up with an answer.
Put glue on everything. Ugh. I'm gonna saturate that bad boy all the way down in that split because now I want that reinforced by the super glue. It should dry up pretty quick with this wood because all wood is sort of wet, and that's what we need to dry it up. We'll just leave that right there. I do also like the gel super glue for that reason. It feels voids a little better, but this soaks into the fibers of the wood and creates a bond like really nothing else does because it penetrates so deeply. And I don't even mind it being springy like that for a little bit because it's just working more glue into that joint. Then boom, I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna just hold it. Joe Mama says Wes has great impressions for different characters. Could be called schizophrenia. Who knows? Potato tomato. Look at the brown. Yes. Look how deep that's gonna get. It's gonna get so good. It's gonna get so good. I'm excited again. Like, cause yo, I don't know if y'all watched this yesterday. I never had a clue that this was gonna do this. I knew something special was gonna happen, but it's kind of an optical illusion thing here going on because that's dead flat. Y'all know I'm too obsessive for it not to be, but that figuring or texturing, whatever, so cool. And I wanted something nice to contrast it. Those colors work really great together. And with this one, it's going to have the depth and darkness that it's got. Perfect. Eventually, I'm gonna be like, all right, maybe I should put a clamp on this. Put some clamps on that. Just bought a Cadillac. Let me see. This will get open enough to. Good. Oh, I tore it off entirely.
And a champion has fallen today, people, who was once an upright citizen of the YouTube community has fallen into dark times on this day. West Desert has been broken like no man has been broken today. But our champion does not give up, perseveres, good times, bad times. As long as he can find the peace, that peace has a way home.
Now, feel like I'm snug in the spot that I want to be in. Now, I don't even know what to put over top of this to keep it from sticking to the clamp. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to pull that piece back off. What if I put another little piece of wood over top of it? Like that, right? Now it's in place. That wood's on top of it. If that, oh my God, if that piece of wood doesn't want to come off, I can sand it because it's the exact same species of wood. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. I'm fumbling the ball right now. Fumbling the ball. So I put a piece on top, hold that piece. While I push these together, tighten that down. So that should work. We'll see. What I do know is I can't trust it for a few minutes. Soldier says, Wes, you sir are a natural character. No wonder we're friends. I talk to my work, do voices, the whole nine. Hey man, we all just battling our own private battles, right? Nick says painter's tape. Depression Talk says masking tape. Both of you guys are smarter than me. But I done it now, so I guess we're gonna have to see. There's no point in not agitating it though. So let's see if it's working. Ugh. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I do want to go further down on that. I can't risk it while that's happening. Yeah, I know how that sounded. Well, I feel like I'm stuck for a second. Truthfully and really. I really kind of feel like I might be stuck. Because I do need to cut that other side so I can do this other side. But I gotta wait for that to do what it's supposed to do. Nick says, I'm not smart. I just screwed up a lot in projects and never make the same mistake more than 4 times. Nick, you said a mouthful there, homie. That is a fact. I'll tell y'all a little. Okay. So I inherited a house. It was my grandmother's house. small, modest home, and it needs a lot of work because um, she was old and you know wasn't very well taken care of, right? Because I had family that lived in the home for a number of years after she passed away. Nonetheless, I've got a relative in there right now. Um, you know, nice enough, good enough situation. Not charging anything, but she is responsible for the maintenance stuff on the home for the moment. And we call a plumber to come out. Now, I'm a plumber. I don't know if y'all know that. I'm a contractor and I'm a plumber as a portion of that skill set. And a guy comes out there, gives her a quote to um, the plumbing line seems to be draining slow everywhere, which usually means you pull the toilet, you snake the drain lines, the main line, everything starts to work. That's usually anywhere between $350 to a $800 service, depending on who you're using. Charged her $2,200 on a payment plan for some of it. Took every nickel she already had, which is $1,500. And then he proceeded to start doing the work. He pulled one toilet up, says it wasn't bad, there wasn't a stoppage in the main line. So he put it back without having done anything to it. Pulled the other toilet, changed out the wax ring, and put it back down. The next morning, the house is flooding with sewage water. Now, mind you, it's never flooded before this guy ever showed up. When I called him and I asked him what he'd done, and he described these things to me in very intentionally deceptive language, but I'm a plumber. I know what he's saying. And when he starts quoting what he was doing, he changed out, he attempted to change out a part inside of the tank and somehow couldn't figure out how to do it. There's $26 worth of parts in the back of a tank if you use a standard kit out of Home Depot that works pretty much universally on 95% of toilets, which these clearly fall into the category. You charged her $450 to pull the toilet up, look in it, and put it back down. It leaked. He came back the next day, complained about that. He's already got $1,500 in his pocket, $400 for that. The rest of the work he hadn't done yet. He goes out to the truck, comes back, and tells her he's gonna have to change the bolts on the toilet at the base. That costs $2. Take about 10 minutes to do. I've done it 1,000 times, literally. And he's a professional plumber that doesn't do anything but that. He comes back and says $1,800. $1,800 in addition to the $450 that she'd spent the day before. I went absolutely ballistic. I explained to him that I was a plumber and I was aware of what he was talking about. Gave him the language so he'd know that I knew what I was talking about. And then he proceeded to apologize, said he would make sure the toilet was okay before he left. I got off the phone and somehow he talked this woman, my cousin, into another $250 to put those two bolts on the toilet, and then he left. And the next morning, the whole house flooded. This was yesterday. So I'm getting calls on Sunday morning. I got to call my insurance company on Sunday morning. The company he works for sends another guy out who says, "Oh yeah, it's got nothing to do with us." On a house that's 60 years old and has never flooded once. And then the day you left, it flooded overnight and flooded the whole house. So he was willing to steal over $4,000 to do a $500 job that he still didn't do. And now my insurance company is going to rip them a new one. Because if I don't do anything else, make sure I got a good insurance policy. And I've got so much understanding of this situation from a mechanical standpoint. Um, our insurance company is also going to get all that money back that we've already spent to them. And they're replacing all that stuff that they messed up. And boy, I'm trying to tell you. I was literally planning on going up there this summer and putting new flooring down throughout the entire house. Now they're going to do it for free, which is fantastic. So, little surprise blessings. Things when somebody tries to get over on you, just wait. Pay attention and wait. If you've done the right things, you might not witness it in that moment. Man, part of the human experience is you don't get away with nothing. You might think you did. You might have a secret for a long time. But as you can see, what's happening in our government right now, not only does the cream rise to the top, so does the fat. Crazy. Crazy work. But yeah, there's a lot of people in this world who will rip you off if they get the opportunity to, and they will use your ignorance as a means to it. And it just really, really hurt my heart to hear this guy, because I didn't tell him I was a contractor until he had confirmed that he was bullshitting me. And I was like, bro, I'm gonna just shoot you straight. I know everything you're saying. I'm reading this report right now, and you're charging me $300 and $400 for $20 parts. I'm not talking about that's how with the labor. I'm talking about you're putting on the invoice $300 for a part that I know costs less than 20. You're phrasing it in a way that sounds complicated, but it's not. And I don't know. Like my cousin, my tenant, is a nice, sweet person. And unfortunately, that's who they give the most trouble to. But what's wild is after I told him I was a contractor and all that stuff, and he said he was going to fix the toilet, he did. He charged her anyway. And then he told her, he doubled back to tell her to call me and tell me that he wouldn't have to work for free if I'd brought my ass up and done the work myself, since I'm a contractor. And I'm like, boy, yo, I'm from that town. I grew up in that town. My whole family's in that town. I come up there in a minute. I'm coming up there, and you still got that money in your pocket. You're going to find out what side of town I'm from, too. Crazy work. So, man, and what's wild is I don't even have any good advice for people in that situation, right? If you don't know the contractor personally, man, people can really double talk you to death, particularly in situations that have water intrusion or mold or anything that is scary attached to it. People tend to just say okay to the first guy that gets there and tells them they have an answer for it. All I can say is keep shopping, but man, three crooks show up. You're choosing between three crooks. And the one who's best at talking is usually the biggest crook. So he's the most deceptive and often the most seemingly trustworthy. It is a wild situation out there, man. It's just a wild, wild west, and I hate it for people who don't have the wherewithal. And the thing is, there are people like me who are not crooks, but also understand the complexity of some of the things and provide warranties and have insurance and have all these things that are expensive. And we come out and we give them our price. And because everybody's been a crook so far, they're always like sort of standoffish because they don't know if you're a crook yet. Terrible way to begin any relationship, professional or otherwise. It's like, oh man, I got to talk to you about my childhood so you don't think I'm here to rob you. Because you can't front. Some of them dudes are here to rob you. And I'm not against anybody making money. That guy had $2,000 in his pocket and did not solve one single problem. If you now, if you happen to be in the DC area, this is a company that works up there too. They work DC and a couple other places. It's called Michaels and Sons. Sounds like a pretty generic name, but they're a chain, which usually means they're operating off of one guy's license and everybody else is an apprentice and nobody else is carrying a plumbing license or even taking a course. Crazy. I'm sorry, I don't usually come on here and talk about the goings ons, but man, that consumed my entire morning and a lot of my weekend. And I'm just glad my daughter's here to keep my wife company and calm so that I could deal with that without freaking her out. Nick says there's a crisis of no one having self-sufficiency skills these days. Most young people are afraid to roll up their sleeves and figure things out. BK says kids are spoiled now. Yeah. Animal, how you doing? Mike Monroe, how you doing? I'm making a knife sheath. Knife sheath. Mm-mm-mm-mm. My kids were jocks, but started working at 14. Excellent grades at school. Oh, that's good. Well, it's hard for me to complain about the kids without complaining about us because we created this generation of kids that don't have wood shop. Now, we aren't, it's our parents' generation who took things like wood shop and home ec out of the schools and said, hey, we need more computer classes, which we did, but we pushed everybody towards it and nobody towards the things that sustain us as a society. And now, because we didn't raise any farmers, all of our food is industrialized to some degree. Um, we raised a bunch of computer programmers and athletes and told them all to be doctors, lawyers, or computer programmers. And now we've got too many lawyers, too many doctors, and plenty of athletes, but we don't have hardly any plumbers. We don't have hardly, like, can you imagine that? Like a Virginia, like somebody can have a business that operates locally in many different cities. That's how few plumbers those cities have in them. They've got handymen with imaginary licenses from some other guy out of state. And I promise you that guy's making money. But we raised them. We raised them. We taught them that being special meant you were supposed to be famous, right? Like, there's some special barbers out there who were great for the community. There's some great mechanics out there that are great neighborhood mechanics. Little mom and pop stores. I remember years ago I was a photographer for a little while, just because I'll get in my art bag from time to time, and if I've got enough money to take a little break from contracting, I'll do it. Um, so I was a photographer for a little while, and then I watched Walmart start selling professional grade cameras. And in a matter of 3 years, they ran out every camera store and a place where you could go and actually find out about your camera or get your camera repaired or change lenses. Those places did not exist anymore. And we did it. We sacrificed our skill sets for our conveniences. Walmart was $10 cheaper. We went there instead of the local store that we used to go to. When BK and I were kids, there were toy stores. Unless you're 40 years old, you don't remember a toy store. There were toy stores in the mall. There were toy stores we would go to for Christmas to go Christmas shopping specifically for toys. And they were all over the place. And then you know what Walmart did? They started selling toys. And you know what they did when they started selling toys? They sold toys cheaper than what they paid for them. So if the toy cost $50, they sold it for $50, but they probably paid 60 for it. But Walmart knew if you came into that store, you're not just going to buy toys. You're going to buy wrapping paper. You're going to buy bows. You might buy food on the other side of that store. There's going to be clothes there. That stuff is regular price. It's not more. So you go to Walmart because all the toys are cheaper because the toy store can't sell it cheaper because Walmart's not even making profit on it. They're just running the locals out until they're all dead. And then once they are, they go back to some normal pricing because why not? Now there is no competition. And things are still relatively cheap at Walmart, but you don't have a choice anymore. And when Walmart buys things, I'm not slandering Walmart, but uh, a manufacturer once told me, because I've been, you know, in housing a long time. So for one of the firms I worked for once, I buy a lot of refrigerators, a lot of kitchen sets, a lot of appliances, like a couple of dozen kitchen sets a week for the company and the various properties. Walmart would sell those things. I mean, all the little small companies just did not exist anymore. And your only options are the big stores, period. Period. And that kind of sucks. You lose variety when you lose competition. You lose some choice. Choice is a hell of a thing to lose for any human being. Choice is a hell of a thing to lose. Oh man, I've been on the podium for a minute today. Y'all must be exhausted. Like, dude, nobody come here to listen to you yapping, sounding like a white boy. Oh, can't believe who said that. I should have remembered the name. Dang it. Oh man. Dang, I be slipping all the time. Oof. Like how that's some lines in there. That taper. It's working beautifully. Beautifully. I'm gonna square that corner so that knife will just ride right on that shoulder. Right on that shoulder strongly. Tough in the way that I do. Somebody said I don't sound black enough. I sound blacker than you.
I really got to start rapping more on this channel, yo. Black History Month too. Oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't even realize. Didn't even realize the irony of this. I appreciate every single one of y'all who are hanging out with me. West does it right now. We're making a sheath, a wooden sheath for our homemade knife. Um, so that's what we be doing, broke boy stuff, high quality, high level poverty alternatives, so that we too can have fancy stuff. Mm. Also, thanks for your donations, super chats, etc., etc., etc. But if we just use what we needed and not excess, band together and say no to Walmart, we wouldn't be better off. Oh, we would be better off. Yeah, maybe. Well, we wouldn't even necessarily have to do a great band together if we just consciously um, shopped with our neighbors if we could. Like, I'm not one of those guys that believes in scaling things. I think that corrupts things. I think when you remove the product too far from ownership, you remove all the liability because the layers of accountability are so massive that people give up before they get to it. And as a business, well, that works. But for the consumer, the level of service changes dramatically, like dramatically. They started doing automated drive-throughs on some of how should I say this? Some of the more complex sides of town, and I absolutely love it because I can't stand dealing with people who don't like their job. I get it if they don't like it, but I can't. I'm like, bro, I've been a roofer and I had a good attitude. I've been a plumber and I had a good attitude. You can't just give me a sandwich without being a jerk about it. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the thanks for coming. Have a blessed day. You know what I'm saying? That era. I grew up in the era where there's a phone in the house, right? And when it rang, your mom was like, "Good evening. This is the Johnson residence. How can I help?" You know what I'm saying? Like nice, friendly, welcoming. And I'm giving you money, and I can't get that. Hard, just hard. I know y'all get sick of me in this sanding, but if we're gonna do this well, we're gonna have to take some time. And it's just that I've accepted it. You should too. That's pretty good. I'm gonna turn that just to see if I'm below that surface, and I slightly am not. Right up here, I'm not. Some people will take the knife itself and do that with it, just to flex how sharp their knife is. I mean, come on, that's pretentious, right? A little excessive. Get it? No, I'm just kidding. It's awesome to do that. It's awesome. Makes me feel like a stud. Mostly because I was like, man, one day, I'm gonna be able to do that with my knife. Smooth, clean, liver. Like that knife is making its own bed, you know what I'm saying? Self-made knife. Strong, independent knife. Don't need nobody else. Take care of itself. This knife. You might need some help. This knife don't. You just can't be mad at your knife when it does that. I might need to give this away to somebody. Currently, it's just me. Let's see. Yep. Yep. Let me go a little further because I want it snuggified. This is not a bad little carver. Not a bad carver at all. Just keep it. I deserve nice things too. Ooh. That wouldn't have been good on the face. Check it again. Definitely below surface. You do know what we do at this stage. I shan't bother you with the formalities. Or you should know. Do full well. This will be the point in the evening where we begin to consider magnetism. Selectively and precisely placed earth magnets to draw the knife into its sheath and hold it securely. There you shall rest.
Rocking around Christmas tree. That's a song I sing when everything is A-OK. All right. How should we go about this here? I've got some options for glue. I think I'm gonna go with the tried and true. A couple of epoxy. A little bit of epoxy over here. This guy. A little tape over there. You know how we do, honey. A dollop. Call it a dollop. That's all. Dollop. Put another dollop of the other stuff. Forget about it. Dollop 2 times, I call it. A dollop 2 times. Put it together. Put it together. I need a little stir stick. I need a little stir stick. I don't see one. Fairly unusual in that there's usually a plethora of random scrap, wood, slivers, shards, and such laying about. And this day I have failed myself. So I'm going to slice one real quick, and then we shall have one. If you do that with a tight fit, then it'll drop right below that surface. Hold there. If you do not do that with a tight fit, it will bubble up and raise out of that place. That's not what you want. I also kind of lightly regret not going a little bit deeper so that I could put a cover over that and not have that knife making contact directly with those magnets, but something slightly different. But what can happen is after I do that and that dries, because the thinnest layer of anything I can put on there is going to be epoxy, I can put the epoxy over top of those. Because what I don't want to do is scuff up my blade by making it have constant contact with that magnet. I want it to be pulled by the magnet, but not touching the magnet, if that makes sense. Spread that a little bit. It's kind of like putting a little plastic liner in there. You have to make sure that it's nice and smooth. The thing about epoxy is it's liquid when it goes down, so it wants to lay down on its own. It doesn't take much effort to coax in the smoothness, or at least reasonably flat. And if we absolutely had to, obviously we could sand on it a little bit. But right now, I think I'll be what it's supposed to be and leave it alone. In a second. Right after this. All right, all right. Hey, Ralt, how you doing? Hey, Ferret, how you doing? Hey, Happy, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see y'all. Let's see y'all in here. We've got to wait for this epoxy to dry. It's going to be about 10, 15 minutes, and then it'll be good enough for that. Pop that in. We're going to cut this piece, cap it, sandwich it, slice it, dice it, flip it, dip it, skip it, scap it. Yeah, all that stuff. So I guess the question now is, do I leave and come back? I think so. I'll let that settle. It'll be fine. I'll leave. I'll come back in like an hour. Holy moly. It's 4:30. Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna run. I'll be back, yeah, about an hour, hour and a half. And I'll be able to do more. We'll get this finished up today though. And but before you go, I'm gonna go ahead and put a quick coat of boiled linseed oil on that handle since it's got to wait anyway. That can be drying up while we do it. So let's go ahead and get some linseed oil on that. Ordinarily, I wouldn't take my gloves off for that, but linseed oil is not problematic for my skin, and I've got epoxy all over those gloves, and they did their job keeping that stuff off my skin. So good enough. But I am going to go over this knife. Also, y'all, I'm thinking about redoing this finish on this knife. Look how it's, you know, it's good, but not, I don't know. But I'm thinking I might do it again. Yo, BK, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do. I do. Great live. Well, great having you here. Thank you very much. Y'all are, y'all are the greatest. You're the greatest. You're the greatest. I always worry about talking too much on here. I'll run them off, but I do enjoy y'all, and y'all keep me great company. Oof, look at that. Look. Would you look at that? Look at that. Cat hair on it. So I think those two species are going to look good together. Our wrenches have become shields. I dig it. Right. We're all sheriffs now. Right.
We went from being simple blue collar plumbers and mechanics to being shield holding, wielding sheriffs. BK is a sheriff for the day. Thank you so much. I love you. I'm gonna hug you for that. Ah, I appreciate it so much. I'm gonna like the donation too. Land X for the win. I don't know what that is, but okay. Hey, Siege Crab, I didn't even see you in there. I didn't even see you in there. I've been sleeping. I've been sleeping. I've been snoozing on my chat. Look, I'm gonna take my glasses off. I'm serious. I sincerely apologize to you all with all my heart. And we had a great time. Thank you for entertaining me and keeping me in good spirits because I couldn't work today again because of the stupid weather. But I did get to do this, and this is fun. So yeah. And I got a free cup of coffee from BK. Salute. And we get up out, man. Oh, I appreciate it. I'm glad you feel that way about the lives. That it is a good, relaxing time. That feels great for me to know. I'm a scoop, skate, scrap, skabobble. Check on my wife. She came home from work today, not feeling well. So I'm gonna go check on her, make sure she's comfy too. I'll be back here maybe an hour, maybe two. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. West Desert. Peace.